Hey everybody, welcome to our 5-day challenge. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I got quite a few new people in the group this time for this one, so I'm super excited. Welcome everybody. So today I'm going to start right off. We only have 5 days, so today I'm going to talk with you about bloating. And to me, first let me back up. If this is the first video you're seeing, go down and read my post from this morning, because I definitely want you guys to pick a way to measure your progress this week, because I need and want your feedback. I want to hear if your pants are fitting looser, if you lose a pound or two, if you're feeling better, if you're sleeping better. I want to hear all of that. That is what I get out of doing these little 5-day challenges. I like to hear that you're enjoying it and something's happening for you. So please do that for me. Read that post below and make sure you pick one of those ways for measurement for this week so we can see Friday how everybody's doing. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about bloating, and then as the week goes by I'm going to talk a little bit, because they all kind of go together, like bloating, how intermittent fasting can help with that, and gut health. It all kind of ties in together. Well, intermittent fasting doesn't tie into that, it's just a technique you can use, but the other thing that sort of ties in that can cause bloating is hormonal fluctuations. And so you guys tell me, I want you to put in comments. I might skip that, but if anyone's interested, I don't know who's going to be pretty active in this group. If that's a concern of yours, depending on your age, you might be on birth control, you might be kind of going through menopause, you might be totally fine with your hormonal fluctuations and you don't feel like that affects you. For me personally, I've always been very hormonally sensitive, and actually used to suffer from hormonal migraines twice a month, one during ovulation and one during menstruation. So I spent 2 weeks out of every month having migraines, so I was pretty miserable. So I'm very hormone sensitive, so for me that's kind of one of my favorite topics to understand and talk about. But I want you guys to tell me, because that goes into what I would do is do one of these videos and take a day to take you through the hormonal cycle and fill you in on, it's kind of fun actually to know like what is happening hormonally during each week of your cycle and how you can use that to be more productive, with the kind of things you should or shouldn't do those couple weeks, and then ways we can stop having those major spikes and fluctuations and kind of make it more even keel. So I have some tips on that. So if you're interested in that kind of lesson at all, or chit chat, please comment below, because otherwise I think I'm going to skip that part, because I kind of is like, I don't know, sort of specialize, and it doesn't really like tie into clean eating and stuff. It's just more for overall health and bloating and stuff like that. So you let me know. Okay, so back to today. So there's in my mind, there's 3 kinds of bloat. There's the bloat from the food you eat, and that's what we're going to focus on today. There's bloat from your problems with your gut health, like you probably heard of leaky gut. So I'm definitely going to talk about that, maybe tomorrow or the next day. And then the hormonal bloat, which I kind of touched on already. So today I want to talk to you about the easiest one to make changes in, and the easiest one to change, and that you can do like right away today, is food. So I know you know that the easiest thing you can do is cut out the crap you're eating, the salty food, the French fries, the fast food. Of course, all of that stuff is going to cause you to bloat. The processed foods, pretty much anything in a box, if you pick it up and turn it around and look at your label, it's probably going to have a high sodium content. So the more sodium you're ingesting like that, it's gonna bloat you up. I mean, when you go out to eat, I don't know about you guys, but I wake up the next morning after eating out at a restaurant, like with my fingers kind of fat, and even under my eyes, I can like, you know, my eye bags will be baggier because they put so much salt and sodium in your food. So one of my first quick tips about that is in your house, I have 5 steps for you, okay? Step 1, actually I just added this step. Step 1, switch out your table salt to Himalayan sea salt, pink salt, Himalayan pink salt. I think they also call it Himalayan sea salt, but it's basically the pink Himalayan salt. That salt is way different than processed table salt. The Himalayan sea salt or pink salt, I think it's called sea salt now that I say that. What does it look like when I buy it? I think it just says Himalayan pink salt, but that's actually a mineral, and it actually can have I wouldn't say diuretic properties, but it's good for you. It actually helps de-bloat you versus putting a bunch of regular salt on your food. So if you have Himalayan pink salt in your house, you don't have to feel weird or guilty about putting salt on your food, and it's a great way to flavor your food, and it's healthy for you. So that is my first step for you. Get rid of your table salt, get rid of that white salt, and go buy yourself some Himalayan sea salt or pink salt. You can get it, you can buy it in shakers even at Winn-Dixie. They have it all packaged up for you to grind it. You can buy it like at TJ Maxx and places where they've imported it from India or something. And Himalayan sea salt rocks, and then you can get yourself a grinder and grind it up. But you can do it all kinds of ways. So as far as food goes, that is my first step. Let's get rid of the table salt, switch to Himalayan pink sea salt, okay? Step number 2, try to not eat carbs after 3 p.m. This is one of the easiest ways to start with some fat loss and de-bloating. Carbs by nature are sugars. They break down into sugar, and they tend to stay in your gut longer, and the more food stays in your gut, the more the bacteria works on breaking it down, and the more gas and bloat it produces. So 2 things can happen when you stop eating carbs after 3 p.m. It gives your body a chance to go into that fat burning mode, and because the way your body processes fuel, it first burns carbs, then it burns fat, and then it goes into muscle. So the whole low carb diet thing, that's what it's about. If you don't have a lot of carbs in your system, your body will then move to its fat stores. So if you stop eating carbs by 3 p.m. because you sleep at night, you're giving your body all of those hours to get into the fat stores. Does that make sense? So that, and then this will make a lot more sense when we get into intermittent fasting, but that's sort of the whole beauty behind intermittent fasting, is getting into those fat stores. And so an easy step to get to start doing that is just stop eating carbs after 3 p.m. That's not that hard. That means just don't have a carb with dinner. So, and I know you know what carbs are, but we're talking brown rice, potatoes, even sweet potatoes, which are the complex carbs I would want you to be eating anyway. So when you eat your carbs, eat them in the morning, eat them at lunch. At dinner, just don't eat them. Just eat your meat and your vegetables and skip the carbs, because vegetables they have carbs too. They have fibrous carbs, but they're way low carb compared to what we consider a carb. Okay. Number 3. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about water. Okay, water really was like number 1, but then I threw in the salt. So let's say Number 3, water. You definitely need to be, and I know you heard this, but if you keep hearing it, if you're like me, if you keep hearing it over and over again, you might do it. You need to drink half your weight in ounces, an ounce. Wait, that sounds confusing. Take your weight, divide that in half. Take your weight in pounds. So say you're 150 pounds. Take half of that, and that's how many ounces you need to be drinking of water a day. Okay? So you can flavor that water. I would preferably just be lemon or lime, or I don't like boring plain water, so I drink, in my water I use stevia sweeteners, and my Energized supplement that I use, that's a green tea kind of lemon flavor. So you can use whatever you want, but just drink half your weight in ounces of water. Okay? So that's step 3. Step 4. Try to stop eating after 6 p.m. 6 might be a little early for you. Comment below, tell me when you eat dinner. So if you can't do 6, do the earliest you can. Basically, whenever you eat dinner, the kitchen's closed. No more eating. And that, to me, is the hardest thing to do. That was the hardest change for me to make, because I just got into a habit of snacking every night after the kids went to bed, and it was so hard for me to stop eating after 6 p.m. I just wanted that evening snack of cereal or ice cream. But I'm telling you, if you can do that and cut that out, you will start seeing some fat loss. You will wake up in the morning, nice flatter tummy, no more bloat. It will make a huge difference. So try really hard just this week. You're going to do it. This is a challenge. I want you to do that. So Jacinta just sent me a message. Okay, so try to stop eating after 6 p.m. And some tips on that, drink a big, like if you just drink water throughout the day, if you feel like snacking after 6 p.m., just get yourself a nice big cup of flavored water, and that's kind of how I got out of doing it. Or whatever's a treat for you. If you feel like seltzer water is a treat, or those LaCroix waters, just start substituting some kind of non-calorie treat, not a processed food junky one, but like a flavored water or something after 6 p.m. or what the earliest you can, whenever your dinner is done, then let that be it. Okay. How many steps do I have now? I think I lost track. 5? Step 5. We'll go through them again. Step 5, and this is a fun one. I bet you might not have ever heard this. Contract your abs. A lot of bloating, believe it or not, is lazy ab muscles. That doesn't mean you have to sit and do crunches all day. That helps to strengthen your ab muscles. But just notice yourself when you're sitting or standing at the kitchen counter or at work by the water cooler or wherever you are. Take note of what your abs are doing. You might be having that posture where you're just kind of, like sitting or standing comfortably, where you're kind of letting your belly poke out and your back sway. So I want you this week to just stick that in your brain and take serious note what your body is doing. And I want you to just contract your abs all the time. Like when you think about it, I want you to contract them in. I'm doing it right now. Can you tell? Like my posture automatically went up, didn't it? Because I'm contracting my abs. So just whatever you're doing, when you think of it, you put a little write yourself a little note. Think of me saying this, contract your abs. Contract your abs. So let me kind of sit on your shoulder throughout your week, and whenever you think of it, I want you to contract your abs in. If you get, it's not a big movement. It's just I'm contracting my abs right now, and I'm still talking to you. If you can get in the habit of just sort of noticing your posture and contracting your abs, you will automatically look less bloated that second. And over time, you will start to strengthen all those muscles around your hips and your belly, and you will naturally kind of de-bloat and have a leaner looking stomach. Okay, so let's go over the 5 steps again. Switch out your salt. Get rid of your table salt. Replace it with Himalayan pink sea salt. Okay. 2, drink water all day long. Take your weight, divide it in half, and make sure you're drinking at least that many ounces of water throughout the day. Okay? 3, no carbs after 3 p.m. For dinner, we're just going to have lean meats and vegetables. Okay? And healthy fats. 4, after dinner, kitchen's closed. No more eating. 5, contract your abs. So those are the 5 things I want you to do all week long. Can you do it? Comment below how many of those you are going to commit to 100% and do this week. I want to know. And if you can do those 5 things all week long, and comment below, I want to know how many of them you're already doing and how many more you're going to commit to. Those of you who aren't doing any of those things, and you commit this week and you do all 5 of them, I guarantee you will probably lose about 3 pounds. Okay? Let's talk a little bit more about food. Let me take a sip of coffee. I'm going to try not to make these videos crazy long, but you can stop them and watch them and stop them and pick up where you left off, because this is just like, I like doing videos more than post after post after post. So I hope you guys are okay with this being a bit of a longer video. I don't even know how long I've still been going. What does it say? Want to know who's watching your live video? Swipe left. Oh, let me see if I can see. Swipe left. I can't see. Or maybe it doesn't do it on horizontal view. So I can't even tell if anyone's watching, and I can't really see comments. So I'll catch up with you in the end. Okay, so let's go over food real quick. Just a couple little things I wanted to bring your attention to that is sort of one of those, not hidden facts, but not crazy, generalized, well-known things. Okay. Be careful of when you're trying to lose weight and de-bloat and you're trying to lose a few pounds, especially coming into summer. So many of us, I've done it too, you start buying all of these low-fat, low-sugar, processed snacky items that you think like, oh, this only has 70 calories, this is going to be great. But what's in there is all the preservatives and fillers that can cause major bloating. 2 huge ones are the mannitol and xylitol. So if you're looking at one of those diet foods, I mean, I know it's tempting. I do it too. Like, to be honest, I have some Atkins chocolate bars in my pantry right now. And I got the one that said, no artificial sugars. So I need to look at the label and see what's in there. But I thought, I'm going to try it and see if it bloats me up, because I think it does have sugar alcohols in it. So sugar alcohols, mannitol, and xylitol, those 3 things can really make you feel bloated. So if you decide to try one of those products, just keep that in mind. And if you feel like crazy bloated after, you know why. That's probably what did it. Also, this is something people don't realize. When all the supplements you buy, even your vitamins, a lot of times they have fillers and some preservatives in there that can cause bloating, and you might take those every day. So be real careful with your supplements. And I'll go through later in the week what I do and what supplements I take. And the reason I have gravitated towards these is because they don't have any fillers. They don't have any of these things. And they're all natural, and and that's what I'm about. I like to stay as healthy and clean as possible. So some of your even vitamin supplements, look at the labels. They might have sugar alcohols, lactose, gluten, food starch, and some other things, and some fillers and preservatives, and the mannitol and xylitol that can kind of bloat you up. So just be careful when you're looking at this, and you might have to pay more for better supplements because they don't take the cheap way out. They don't fill them with all that stuff. So it might cost you a little more to get a cleaner ingredient list that has like less ingredients and things you can read and not all the fillers and stuff. But you know, is your health worth it? I think it is. I mean, I think you're worth it. So that's one thing to pay attention to, and a lot of people don't realize it. If you're taking vitamins and supplements, just go look and see if there's some food starch and gluten and lactose in there. So, okay, and then one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up for today. As far as eating, if you're eating a healthy diet already and you're already eating lots of vegetables, this probably doesn't apply to you. Your potassium level is probably totally fine. But it's worth noting that a low potassium level can cause you to bloat, because if your potassium level is low in your body will hang on to more sodium, and the sodium will make you retain water. So what you want to do is have a good level of potassium in your body, and then you won't have the sodium retention problem. So some foods to eat that are higher in potassium are tomatoes, mushrooms, dark leafy greens, and fish. So I think one of the best things you can do is just, like you saw me at the grocery store the other day, every time you go grocery shopping, if you're out, buy yourself some spinach. Spinach is so easy. It's one of those it's one of those dark leafy greens that has a good potassium level, and you can just put spinach in all kinds of things. You can put it in your smoothies, you can saute it. One of my favorite ways, people think like, oh, you can just eat spinach in your salads, which I like to eat spinach in my salad too, but have you ever sauteed it? Like just for lunch, or you know, in the evening as part of your dinner. You can even saute some at night and then put some in your lunch for the next day. But I love it just sauteed down in the pan after you did your meat or whatever. So that's a good one to just add in your weekly grocery list. Just just eat spinach every week. So those are my tips. That was a lot, huh? I wish I could see comments. I wonder if anyone's even watching and commenting. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I think that was a lot of good tips, and those 5, if you're watching towards the end, go back. I gave you 5 really awesome action steps that I want you to take this week that I know will make a difference. And I can't wait to hear some results and see what little things change. And I would love to know, again, for a quick recap, if you want me to do kind of a lesson and informational session like this on the hormone fluctuations based on your monthly cycle, and what happens, and how you can sort of help regulate those, please let me know in comments, because otherwise I think I'm going to skip that. That might be a whole group on its own, but not everybody's interested in that. So have a great day, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Give me some feedback below.